Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for first year. The running chapter is stoichiometry and now we are in session number 19. In previous sessions, I provided you some compounds to find the oxidation state of the element that underlined. Clear? I hope you solved all those. And now let me give the solution or the hint for solving that problems. Clear? And first let us start with that one. It is the first compound given to you is Na3PO4. Here phosphorus is underlined, is it not? And next second one given is K2MnO4. Here Mn is underlined. And then third one Cr2O7 minus 2. Cr is underlined. And then fourth one is NH4 plus, N underlined. And next one is C2O4 minus 2. C2 is underlined. Clear? And now remaining 5. After solving this, we will go for the remaining 5. And first let me give the solution for this. Here, as we know, sodium is having +1 oxidation state. We know sodium is having +1 oxidation state. Phosphorus we don't know, hence it is X. And oxygen we know it is -2. And as per the rule for neutral molecules, polyatomic neutral molecules, the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms is equal to 0. And thereby 1 into 3 plus X plus -2 into 4 is equal to 0. That is 3 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0 and X is equal to 8 minus 3, that is +5. That is oxidation state of phosphorus. Just we are applying the rule for neutral molecules, the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms is equal to 0. And here coming to this, in this case K2MnO4, we don't know Mn and hence it is X. And as we know, potassium is first a group element and hence it is +1 and oxygen -2. And now again 1 into 2 plus X plus -2 into 4 is equal to 0. As usual, the sum is equal to 0. And now it is 2 plus X minus 8 is equal to 0. X is equal to 8 minus 2, that is 6. Plus 6 is oxidation state of this manganese. Clear? And now coming to this, it is charged species. Just you observe. Here it is given as Cr2O7 minus 2. Cr unknown X and oxygen -2. And now let us consider X. How many X? 2. 2 atoms present and hence 2 into X plus -2 into 7 is equal to the sum of, in case of polyatomic ions, the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms is equal to its charge, is it not? And now it is equal to -2 and hence 2x minus 14 is equal to -2 or 2x is equal to 14 minus 2, that is 12, and x is equal to 12 by 2, that is +6. So in this case each chromium is having +6 oxidation states. Clear? And now coming to this, nitrogen we don't know, it is X. NH4 plus, it is X, and hydrogen is +1. And now X plus 1 into 4 is equal to +1 and X plus 4 is equal to +1 and X is equal to 1 minus 4, that is -3. So here nitrogen oxidation state is found to be -3. Simply, in case of polyatomic ions, the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms is equal to its charge. Same principle we are applying. Here X for nitrogen and hydrogen, each hydrogen is +1. How many hydrogens? 4. And thereby 1 into 4, that is equal to +1. and now x plus 4 is equal to plus 1 and x is equal to 1 minus 4, that is minus 3. And coming to this, C, it is, we don't know, C2O4 minus 2. We don't know about carbon, and hence let us take x. Again same rule, x into 2 plus oxygen is minus 2. So minus 2 into how many oxygens? 4 is equal to what is the charge? Minus 2. So 2x minus 8 is equal to minus 2, and hence 2x is equal to 8 minus 2, that is equal to 6. Hence x is equal to 6 by 2, that is 3. That is plus 3 is the oxidation state of carbon here. Clear? Like that, by applying the rules already. And now just you observe here, children, if we are aware of the oxidation states of the other elements other than the unknown element, then only we are able to apply the concept, that is apply the rule, and thereby we are getting the oxidation state of the unknown element. If all elements are not, need not be all elements, just at least if two elements oxidation state is not known, then it is not at all possible to find the oxidation states. So in any molecule or in a chemical species, only for one elemental atom, that elemental atoms may be one or more than one atoms present, but the atoms should not be from different elements. In such a case, if the other elemental atom oxidation state is known to us, then we can get the unknown element oxidation state. Clear? And now here, that's why I provided you some information related to the elements and their general oxidation state as per their group numbers. Now I think now you are clear why we are studying in that the group number, why we are using that group number in finding the oxidation state. All these detail or all those discussions are what were those discussions. Now you are observing or you are understanding why we discussed that much. Clear? So here with that discussion help only we are able to answer the questions. Now let us go for the next 5. The next 5 compounds what I provided to you, if I remember, let me give those compounds also for you. One is aluminum sulfate. Aluminum sulfate, and they asked to calculate sulfur oxidation state, I think, is it not? And now let me give that. Sixth one is Al2SO4 taken thrice. Here sulfur oxidation state. And next one is nothing but NaAlO3 or ASO3, I think it is arsenate. And then it is NaAlO2 aluminate, and then Na2S2O3 thiosulfate, and then NiCO4 times. Here nickel oxidation state. Clear? In this type of compounds, how to find? Just AlSO4 taken thrice 2. First of all, we have to separate these two by making this to come to this. Already we know the crisscross method, and where we are getting Al plus 3 2 and SO4 minus 2 3. So now they are asking for SO4 minus 2 species oxidation state of sulfur. It is SO4 minus 2 unknown X, oxygen is minus 2. Now as rule, X plus minus 2 into 4 is equal to minus 2. That is the sum of oxidation states of all the atoms is equal to its charge, is it not? And now X minus 8 is equal to minus 2, and X is equal to 8 minus 2, that is plus 6. Plus 6 is the oxidation state. Just you remember, both these two are different numbers. Then you have to separate these two ions by crisscross method. In criss-cross method, actually when they present like +3 and -2, we are making these two charges to come to subscript so as to get the number of ions in this species. Is it not? Now we are going back. And now coming to this, it is NaAsO3, arsenate. Just it is NaAsO3. As we know, it is nothing but +1 and it is X and it is -2. So 1 plus X minus 2, that is 1 plus X plus -2 into 3 is equal to 0. X minus 6, sorry, 1 plus X minus 6 is equal to 0 and X is equal to 6 minus 1, that is +5. This is the oxidation state. And now coming to NaLO2, I think now you are having the idea automatically. I think you may got the idea how to measure. It is +1 and it is X minus 2 into 2, that is 1 plus X minus 4 is equal to 0 and X is equal to 4 minus 1, that is +3. And now coming to these two, let me give some details related to this. Actually, when Na2S2O3 is taken, here it is an exceptional case. Sulfur, one sulfur is behaving like oxygen. Behaving like oxygen means oxygen is having -2 oxidation state. Here also one sulfur is having -2 oxidation state. Just let me give the name of that compound also. It is nothing but sodium thiosulfate. Sodium thiosulfate. Thio means sulfur. Sulfur in place of oxygen. Already you know Na2SO4. Is it not? Here if we observe the structure, sulfate is having the structure like this. And this is having -2, -2, -2, -1. Actually -2, -2, all these. So it is X. X minus 8 is equal to, the charge of this one is -2 and X is equal to 8 minus 2, that is +6. Like that here +6 oxidation state will be. In the same manner, this S2O3 is also having the structure. Just you observe. Oxygen, 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 oxygens. But instead of this oxygen, the second sulfur is existing with -2. So that's why for this sodium thiosulfate, we have to consider the oxidation state only from structure. That's why you need not worry about that. It is an exception case, you can remember. And when you are going through different chapters, here and there it will appear, and then you will get thorough idea related to the oxidation state of these thiosulfates. You need not worry. Just for understanding purpose, I am providing this. Clear? And now, in case, if it is the case, then we can consider one of the sulfur will be with +6, the other sulfur will be -2. Sometimes they may ask for the average oxidation state. In case of average oxidation state, normal rule we can apply. S2O3. Here it is +1. It is X, we don't know, 2X. And it is nothing but -2 into 3. So 1 into 2 plus 2X minus 6 is equal to 0. And now 2 plus 2X minus 6 is equal to 0. Just you observe. And now it is 2X is equal to 6 minus 2, that is 4. Then X is equal to 4 by 2, that is 2. So average oxidation state will be +2. Average oxidation state will be +2, but actually it is appearing like this. Clear? You can observe with this. Actually they are observed. If we are keenly observing what are the probable charges on each sulfur, because already we defined the oxidation state is nothing but the probable charge. So in case if we are considering, we strictly adhering to this principle, that is nothing but to consider the probable charge on that atom, then these are the oxidation states: -2 one sulfur plus 6 another sulfur. But as per the rule, we will get the average oxidation state. Clear? And now coming to the next one, just it is also an exception case. Here nickel oxidation state is 0 without any rule. Why I am giving that? Just, my dear children, just you remember, for any metal carbonyls, the CO when present with metal, that compounds are known as metal carbonyls. In metal carbonyls, the oxidation state of metal is taken as 0. It is 0. It is considered as 0. And let me give one more example for this 0 oxidation states. In alloys, I think you know what are alloys. Dear students, what are alloys? Alloys are nothing but mixture of metals. Mixture of metals. So metal alloys, in metal alloys, just the metal atoms are mixed. There is no change in, there is no charge on any atom, because there is no migration or exchange of the electrons. Just they are mixed together. In such a case, that is in case of alloys, in case of metal carbonyls, the oxidation state of the metal is taken as 0. You remember, it is an exception case. Clear? Like that, some few exceptions you can come across when you are going through the different chapters. And here one more, let me give one more compound which is of well familiar with a butterfly like structure to understand. Here it is nothing but CrO5, that is nothing but chromium pentoxide. Here chromium is like this, and this chromium has 4 oxygen atoms like this. Actually, these 4 oxygen atoms are not having double bonds with chromium. They are having one bond among these oxygens like this, and one more oxygen, it itself is having double bond with chromium. That's why it is known as the compound with butterfly like structure. Clear? And here 4 oxygen atoms are with -1 oxidation states, because already we know in peroxides what will be the oxidation state of oxygen. If you remember, if you recall that previous session, there we observed that oxygen is able to exhibit -2, -1, -half, 0, +1, +2 oxidation states. Is it not? And there -2 is normal oxide. And what about -1? It is O2 -2. O2 is nothing but oxygen single bond like this. So 4 oxygen atoms are peroxides, and hence all these 4 are having -1 oxidation state, and 1 oxygen is with -2. Totally chromium is with +6 oxidation state. And you remember, chromium is the maximum oxidation state. Chromium has the maximum oxidation state +6 only, and the structure is like this, like that. There are some other examples also, some other exceptions also, but you need not worry about that. All these we will come across in different chapters. There, by that time you will be of much acquainted with this concept, and thereby without any other help you can directly solve the questions. You need not worry about that. Clear? And now let me enter into present session's content. That is, the topic of present 19th session is oxidation reduction reactions. Oxidation and reduction reactions. Here let me write, because you are not familiar with this shortcut, reactions. And one more word, oxidants and reductants. Just this oxidant is also known as oxidizing agent. oxidizing agent, and reductant is also known as reducing agent. Oxidizing agent, reducing agent, and these are very important for chemistry, because in all the three parts of chemistry, that is nothing but physical chemistry, organic chemistry, and in inorganic chemistry, we should be thorough, we should be familiar with oxidizing and reducing agents, because everywhere when the chemical reaction is happening, first of all we have to observe whether the oxidation takes place in the reaction or whether reduction is taking place in the reaction. Clear? That's why for that purpose you should keenly observe and you should thorough with this concept. What is oxidation, what is oxidant and reductant? Just for your convenience sake, first let me give the difference between these words. You remember oxidation, reduction, reactions. This oxidation, reduction, these two words are related to the chemical process. Just you remember, they are the names of chemical processes. Oxidation is a process, reduction is a process. Clear? Whereas oxidants and reductants are the names of the substances. Oxidant is a substance, or it is a chemical substance, and reductant is a chemical substance. It is process, it is not substance. Oxidation or reduction is not substance, just they are process. And whereas oxidants and reductants are the substances. For the substance, we are providing or we are considering it as an oxidant or reductant. For the chemical process, we are considering it as oxidation or reduction. And this oxidizing agent, nothing but oxidant, reductant, or nothing but oxidizing and reducing agents, and thereby these are also substances. Just you remember, first let us clear these words, that is nothing but oxidizing agent, reducing agent. These are nothing but oxidants, reductants respectively. Clear? And now first let us go for the oxidation and reduction process. What is oxidation? What is reduction process? As you know from your lower classes, we know few definitions for these two processes. Let me give that one. First of all, oxidation. What you are defining for oxidation? Just few teachers will give you the information related to addition of oxygen is oxidation. Addition of oxygen is oxidation, is it not? And second one, here removal of hydrogen is also oxidation. Removal of hydrogen is also oxidation. And one more definition is there, that is nothing but addition of, removal of electron. This is also known as de-electronation. Just you remember, electronation is addition of electron, de-electronation is nothing but removal of electron. That removal of electron is known as oxidation, or simply you can say that electron donation is oxidation. When it is donating, it is undergoing oxidation. Donating or removal, both same. Whether it is donating to the other or the other person is removing for electron from that, both are same concepts. Clear? These are different definitions what you are already known with this process oxidation. But actually in these higher classes in our competitive examinations, we are not going to use any of these. Very rarely we are using that removal of hydrogen or addition of oxygen like that. But all these definitions will be covered by a single word. That is, let me explain that one. Oxidation, when it is like this, before going for that one, let me explain this reduction also. A reverse to this reduction. What is reduction? Just you can say that a reverse to this. Addition of oxygen is oxidation. Here removal of oxygen is reduction. And removal of hydrogen is oxidation, and here it is addition of hydrogen is reduction. And similarly, removal of electron is oxidation, and here addition of electrons is reduction. That is nothing but here electron donation, here electron gain is reduction. Just with these opposite words we are defining oxidation and reduction, but actually these two in a single word, with a single words, we can simply explain, which can cover all these. That is nothing but what is happening on the addition of oxygen, what is happening on the removal of hydrogen, or what is happening on the removal of electrons. All these, that consequence, that is nothing but the ultimate result of all these process we can explain with a single word. That is nothing but, just you remember, increase in oxidation number is oxidation. Just whatever these things happen, you need not worry about all these things. Just you have to observe whether for any element, whether the oxidation number is increasing or not. This oxidation number increase means, already we know oxidation number may be negative. Let me explain here. It may be that is +6, +4, +2, 0, -2, -4, like that. Is it not? That is the oxidation number. For example, not only these values, there may be some other values. But when it is -4, -4 to -2, an increase in oxidation number. -2 to 0, an increase. 0 to +2, an increase. Or -4 to +2, an increase. That is simply we can say that this increase in oxidation number is oxidation. Again I am repeating, all together without defining all these things, the ultimate result what is happening is, in all these things, when addition of oxygen, oxidation, why we are considering when oxygen is added, the atom or the element oxidation number will increase. When hydrogen is removed, the element oxidation number will increase. When electrons removed, the element oxidation number will increase. That's why instead of defining like this, in our competitive exam mode, we are defining the oxidation is nothing but increase in oxidation number. I think now you know what is reduction. Is it not? Here, in case if it is +6, +4, +2, 0, -2, -4, like this, if the sequence we are considering, this increase in oxidation number when it is oxidation, decrease in oxidation number, this is reduction. Dear students, I think now you are getting that idea with a single word. Just what is oxidation? Simply you can say that an increase in oxidation number. What is reduction? Simply you can say that a decrease in oxidation number of the element is known as a reduction process. Clear? That is about oxidation and reduction, and in coming session we will discuss with examples, and thereafter, after studying the examples, we will give the names. That is nothing but we will consider the oxidant and reductant, which are nothing but the substances in that particular oxidation and reduction process. Clear? Thank you.